Well, hello everybody, Bart over here. Today an eclectic video, several subjects. I figured I'd record this as I haven't posted any videos in quite a while. I've got this pesky thing called work that keeps getting into way of flying in everything Bonanza related. Anyway, if you are a member of American Bonanza Society, inevitably you get this magazine. And look what airplane made on the front cover of the March issue. If you are not a member of Bonanza Society, what are you waiting for? Best $75 per year you'll spend. You get, other than this wonderful magazine, you get technical support, you got all kinds of member benefits like clinics and seminars you can attend to. So I'd highly recommend it. Anyway, I digress. The reason I'm bringing this March issue, not because I'm trying to shamelessly plug out my airplane, but it is an important issue to read, and you can, if you're a member of the Bonanza site, you can also read it online, is that on page 10, there's an important article that every Bonanza owner needs to read, and it's about turnbuckle inspection. Well, it turns out we've got a little bit of a turnbuckle gate going on. This is a picture of what turnbuckle looks like. And apparently, the aileron turnbuckles have been found to break catastrophically sometimes, so that you would lose your aileron control. And as you can understand, that will ruin your day and ruin your flight. Although, on the instances where it happened, the pilots were able to land successfully. So, very good piloting skills. But anyway, this article goes into detail what is involved, and so I'm not going to rehash it. Long story short, you should read this article because it is important, and it's not that big of a deal if your mechanic will inspect it and address it. But long story short, these have a tendency in a particular location on the Bonanza to corrode, and when they corrode, they'll kind of fatigue crack, so that you cannot really see it up. And then the only thing that holds the turnbuckles together is that safety wiring. On later models, on post 1970, these have been replaced by clips, like what you see over here, and that's apparently easier to inspect. And then post 1977, like my Bonanza, has these turnbuckles that have been found to crack located in the wheel wells. So it's not as big of a necessity as the airplanes that are pre-1977 or pre-1970, but still everybody should have the mechanic inspect it. It's very clearly written here in the magazine, and there's you should be able to accomplish this in a little bit of a time. Well, with earlier airplanes, it might take a little bit of time because you have to get into the turnbuckles where and they're located. Well, you have to take some interior pieces off to get in there, but regardless, it should be done. There's no AD issued for this, and hopefully there won't be, because everybody will read the magazine and read the posts that have been out there, and will take care of it, and then it'll be that. But no, I just wanted to address this. Okay, moving into some more fun things. I had a birthday, and Christmas was also. I haven't posted anything for such a long time, and this is what I've gotten for Christmas. Some recommended that I get one of those cards, so here it is. And my wife surprised me with this for my birthday. Apparently, she thinks that since I'm over 40, I'm an old man now, and I need some assistance pulling the airplane out of the hangar. But I got to tell you, I love this thing. It's called Sidewinder, and it's battery powered, so you don't have to worry about starting in a gas motor or anything like that. It uses, as you can see, the wheel there to propel the aircraft. A couple of things I would tell you. First of all, on a rating scale, 9.5 out of 10. A couple small, tiny little details. I wish they marked this like I did with the marker, forward and backwards, because you don't want to be going the wrong way. So just a tiny little detail. Second thing, the battery life doesn't seem to be that long after like couple of pulls, it's already down half. So you have to recharge it every few pull out, pull in situations, but not that big of a deal, I guess. You can have this plugged into the charger, and since it's an intelligent charger, it will shut off automatically, so it's not like it's going to overcharge the battery. And the last thing is it's a well-constructed unit, and ergo it is heavy. So that's the only thing I would say that there are the small cons. Maybe it would have been nice if it was made out of aluminum or something like that, be a little lighter, but that would have probably driven the cost even more. But it is built in the United States like God intended. It is pretty hefty, and it's obviously of a good quality, and it gets the job done. Really nice unit, and I'm not paid by the company that makes it, so it's not like an advertisement. And the card, I don't even know where she got it from. I'm assuming aviation department in Harbor Freight probably has those. Now, a couple other things. If you ever wondered why the A36 is the SUV of airplanes, this is what the interior looks like, with the seats, forward and rear seats, removed. So basically it turns into a Tahoe with couple wings attached to it. Gets a better gas mileage probably than a Tahoe, and obviously moves a lot faster. I'm actually going, why I did this is we are actually going to Flight Sim Expo on this week, and this will actually house, or this interior space will actually house a simulator. So we will be flying a simulator. That is a brain twist. But anyway, the only thing I did here is I cut this high density foam here, because when you take the rear seats, you know, the brackets for the seats will be there. So I don't want anything to crush it. So I put this little thing in there to protect that. And other than that, you can, believe it or not, this will fit a general aviation flight sim with 3 42-inch displays, stands, all that in here. One thing that I need to mention is if you do fly with the seats removed, you do need to have your mechanic get you a revised weight and balance. I actually have 3 weight and balance sheets now. One with normal configuration, one with the rear seats removed, because I often fly with just the rear removed, like if my wife and I are just going for a vacation, and the third one was with all the seats removed. Then you're completely legal, so when you're ramp checked, you have the right weight and balance for the airplane. And nice thing about it is you pick up about 100 pounds if you remove the seats off useful load, because that's how much the seats weigh. So you can put 100 pounds worth of stuff. And of course you gotta be careful how you load it and everything, but you can see how cavernous the space is. All right. Oh, by the way, if you do not like some of my pronunciation, and I'm sure some of you don't, I apologize. I know I've gotten some comments because I mispronounced something or I said something the wrong way, but I'm not a native English speaker. I've been here long enough that I should have learned better, but still working on it. Okay, now, last but not least, I switch to the dark side or the light side and switch the yokes to a throw over yoke. So I'm gonna give you a few pointers if you're considering this. First of all, was this a good move or good mod? Yes, for 2 reasons. Number 1, you pick up about 5 pounds of useful load. Number 2, you get all of this real estate now here. Now your wife can sit here and look at your landing gear and focus on that and making sure you are not landing with the gear retracted. And then also you have additional benefit of having the visibility of the landing gear. As you remember on my first video, I mentioned that this was an issue, and now you've got a good visibility. Now the flap switch, as you can see over there, is still somewhat obstructed, but as you can imagine, as you can understand, flying with the gear up is a lot worse than flying with, or landing I should say, with the gear up is a lot worse than landing with the flaps How this is done, as far as the switch over, is reasonably straightforward. Basically, the yoke is held with these 4 machine screws and the 2 collars, so it's kind of clamped. And you also have to take the trimmer off to get this removed. The trimmer has a opposite thread, so I don't know if it's left-handed or right-handed. I guess it would be left-handed, so you'll have to you have to tighten it, sorry, to unscrew the trimmer. And you can see there's a parting half. Maybe I can zoom it in. See there how there's a parting half? So you tighten this piece while holding this, and it will open up, and there'll be 3 screws once you take this off. So you don't have to take this piece off, don't do that. But once you unscrew it, there will be 3 screws, and then you'll remove the trimmer and you'll transfer it onto new yoke. Now you can of course remove this. There's a circlip, and I did this to get everything perfectly aligned. But that's not how you remove it, just so you know. And be careful, because these things are unobtainium, so do not force it. Be very gentle, because you don't want to break this. It's made out of some sort of a plastic material. It's not metal. So once you do this, once you take these off, you pull the pin, and then the old yoke will slide out, and then theoretically you should slide the new one in. As you know, the cabling, I'm gonna sit here so I can show you better. The cabling and whatnot is attached, at least on mine airplane, with this connector. So you will not have to unsolder, undo anything. Essentially, split this connector, transfer the yoke, and then reconnect everything. So from that electrical standpoint, it's pretty simple. Yeah. So I took basically the yoke out of my dual yoke, or the horn, and transferred it onto the arm. I think that's it. Other than that, I've just been flying the airplane as time permits, and there have been no major developments and squawks. After a couple of annuals, I'm pleased to say that we've where's the wood? Oh, the wooden floorboards I have to knock on are no surprises. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I welcome your comments, and I will wrap it up because somebody's starting up the engine. Thank you for watching.